A once empty land situated in the Katempe district of the nation's capital in October 2024 now has 40 fully furnished housing units erected on it for judges of the Federal High Court, the FCT High Court, and the Court of Appeal. This gathering, which has dignitaries such as the Vice President of Nigeria, legal practitioners, and top management staff of the FCT administration present, is to commission 10 units of this housing scheme for judges of the Federal High Court.
Welcome to the Civic Report News, and this is Beyond the Headlines. One of the biggest constitutional debates in Nigeria today is not about an election, nor is it about a court judgment. It's about houses. Specifically, should the executive arm of the government build and potentially allocate homes to judges? Supporters say it improves judicial welfare. Critics say it could undermine one of democracy's most important principles, judicial independence. Tonight, we examine the issues beyond politics. In recent weeks, the Federal Capital Territory Administration commissioned newly built residential quarters for judges in Abuja. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, represented by the Attorney General, said the project demonstrates the government's commitment to strengthening the judiciary through better welfare and infrastructure. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike also proposed an owner-occupier arrangement under which beneficiaries could eventually own the homes subject to presidential approval. On the surface, providing decent accommodation for judges appears to be a positive development. After all, judges deserve security and dignified working conditions. So why has this generated controversy? The principle of separation of powers. Nigeria operates under a constitutional system with three separate arms of the government: the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Each arm has its own responsibilities. Each is expected to act independently. This arrangement is designed to ensure that no single arm becomes too powerful. The judiciary in particular must be able to decide cases without fear, favor, or improper influence. That independence is essential to the rule of law.
Senior member of the bar. In fact, as a member of the body of benchers, a life bencher, there's no provision for it under the current democratic dispensation. You know, there are three arms of government: the judicial, the executive, and the legislature. Each of them today enjoys financial autonomy. In fact, there are three judgments of our court, of the Federal High Court, to the effect that the judiciary is financially autonomous. When President Buhari tried to also recognize the independence, financial autonomy of the judiciary via executive order 10 of 2020, governors went to court, and the Supreme Court declared it illegal. But the National Assembly and all the state houses of assembly later amended the relevant provisions of the Constitution to the effect that Section 83, the funds of the judiciary every year at the federal level shall be passed to the NJC. For the states, the budget of the judiciary, the money will be given to the heads of court. So if you want to buy cars, if you want to build houses, they are to be carried out through the budget of the judiciary. You know, yes, I just listened to the minister. He didn't answer the question, which is to the fact that can you give houses to judges before whom you have cases? Because justice must not only be done, but must be seen to have been done. And the people in the executive must stop embarrassing the judiciary.
Why are some lawyers concerned? The concern is not necessarily about the judges living in good houses. It is about who provides them and how they are allocated. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana has criticized the housing policy, describing it as discriminatory and questioning its legal basis. He has also indicated that he may challenge it in court. For some constitutional lawyers, the issue is perception. If the executive is seen as conferring valuable personal benefits on judges, could that affect public confidence in the judiciary, even if no actual influence occurs? The concern is not always about proving interference. Sometimes it is about avoiding even the appearance of dependence. The government strongly rejects these concerns. President Tinubu has argued that judicial independence cannot thrive without proper welfare, security, and decent accommodation for judges. The administration says the housing projects are investments in the justice system, not attempts to influence court decisions. The FCT minister has also maintained that government construction of judicial infrastructure is not new and does not threaten judicial autonomy.
You have now, I'm sure most of you would have read in social media when I was being accused of grabbing land. This is part of the land I was grabbing. You know, when you're in a position and you want to do the right thing, people will come up to say all kinds of things. But for us, we must continue to be focused and do our job.
The debate goes beyond houses. It asks a deeper constitutional question. How should democratic institutions support one another without compromising their independence? Should judges receive welfare through decisions controlled by the executive? Or should judicial funding and benefits be managed through independent constitutional mechanisms to avoid any perception of influence? Reasonable people disagree on these questions, but they are worth discussing because public confidence in the court depends not only on actual independence but also on the belief that justice is impartial. A true democracy depends on trust. Citizens must trust that courts will decide cases based on the constitution and the law, not on politics, personal relationships, or perceived obligations. Whether this housing program strengthens the judiciary or raises difficult constitutional questions will likely remain part of Nigeria's public debate. What is clear is that judicial welfare and judicial independence are both important objectives. The challenge is ensuring one does not unintentionally weaken the other. This issue is bigger than bricks and mortar. It is about how democratic institutions relate to one another. Can the executive support the judiciary without compromising public confidence in its independence? This is the constitutional conversation now unfolding. At the Civic Report News, we believe democracy works best when citizens understand not only what government does, but why it matters. I am your host, Samuel O. Thank you for watching.